Oil, the lifeblood of the global economy. Imagine a world where its trade isn't dictated by a single currency. The US dollar's dominance, the petrodollar, is a powerful, often unseen force shaping global politics and economics. But how did this system arise, and what does its future hold? The petrodollar system's origins lie in the Nixon shock of 1971, when the US dollar detached from the gold standard. This pivotal moment, coupled with strategic agreements between the US and key oil-producing nations like Saudi Arabia and OPEC, solidified the dollar's role as the primary currency for oil transactions. These agreements ensured that oil, a crucial global commodity, was priced and traded exclusively in USD, significantly boosting the US economy and enhancing its global influence. The resulting petrodollar system provided the US with substantial economic benefits, including maintaining a strong dollar and low interest rates, effectively leveraging its control over a vital global resource to solidify its geopolitical dominance. This system, however, wasn't solely beneficial to the US. It also impacted oil-producing nations and global economic stability in complex and multifaceted ways. Oil transactions, the lifeblood of global commerce, rely heavily on the US dollar. This process involves buyers, typically importers, transferring USD to international banks. These banks then credit the selling nation's accounts, often held in US dollars. The seller then uses these dollars for international trade or domestic spending. This constant flow of dollars through international banking networks significantly impacts foreign exchange markets. The demand for USD to purchase oil directly influences its value against other currencies, creating ripple effects across global financial systems. This system's central role means even countries not directly involved in oil trade are indirectly affected by its fluctuations and the power it grants the US dollar. The petrodollar system profoundly impacts global economics. For the US, it fosters a strong dollar and low interest rates, boosting economic strength. However, oil-producing nations face a double-edged sword. While USD dominance ensures consistent revenue, it also exposes them to US economic policy fluctuations and limits their pricing power. Globally, the system creates both stability through a predictable reserve currency and vulnerability, over-reliance on a single currency. A significant risk lies in the potential for economic shocks stemming from U.S. policy changes or external pressures affecting the dollar, impacting global trade and potentially destabilizing markets. This interconnectedness highlights the system's inherent vulnerability and the need for careful consideration of its long-term implications. The petrodollar system faces significant challenges. Diversifying away from the US dollar requires establishing credible alternative payment systems, a process hindered by ingrained infrastructure and trust in the established system. Geopolitically, challenging the dollar's dominance alters global power dynamics, potentially leading to instability and conflict. Furthermore, concerns exist about potential manipulation and abuse within the current system, with fears of unfair practices and exploitation by powerful nations. These challenges highlight the complexities and inherent risks associated with any attempt to dismantle or significantly alter the current global monetary order. The petrodollar's future is far from certain. The rise of the euro and the yuan, coupled with the burgeoning influence of cryptocurrencies, presents a significant challenge to the dollar's hegemony. These alternative currencies offer nations a degree of independence from the US-dominated financial system. Furthermore, technological advancements like blockchain technology could potentially disrupt the system by facilitating secure and transparent transactions without intermediaries, reducing reliance on traditional banking structures. Geopolitical shifts, such as the growing influence of BRICS nations and a potential realignment of global power dynamics, may also erode the petrodollar's dominance. The interplay of these factors will ultimately determine whether the petrodollar remains the cornerstone of global oil trade or gives way to a more diversified and decentralized system. The petrodollar system, though beneficial to the US, faces challenges from competing currencies and technologies. Its future dominance is uncertain. In your opinion, what innovative strategies could other nations employ to reduce reliance on the US dollar in global oil trade? Share your thoughts in the comments.